Hello, welcome to Indie Tutorials. My name is Guillermo and I would like to thank the Patreon supporting this channel. In this video we are going to implement the functionality to select the target during battle. So the first thing we need to do is to go to the Unity Input Manager. So let's click on Edit, Project Settings, then select the Input Manager, and I'm going to use the dpad horizontal key from the Xbox controller. So I will duplicate this entry and call it something like target selection. Then below this entry we have also this horizontal element that is or again mapped to the dpad left, and I want to actually remove this entry. This is from in vector, so it will collide. If we try to use the dpad, it will move the character and we don't want that. So let's just remove this entry, and I believe something came for the vertical, so let's remove this entry as well. And there we go. So the next step is to go to the ORK Framework and create a new input key for this new target selection button. So let's go to the window menu, then click ORK Framework, and once it's open, let's click on Base Control tab, then Input Keys, and here let's add a new key and let's call it the same thing like target selection. Input origin is going to be Unity Input Manager, and in the name we want to put again the name that we gave, which is target selection, and we can leave everything as it is. So let's save the changes, and the next step is to go to the battle system. Then we have the target settings, so we need to go, let me collapse the target selection here, and we have our individual target settings. So from here we want to use directional selection. For some reason I tried using this next target and previous key, but it wasn't working as I expected. So let's use this directional selection. So the changes we want to do here is to we don't want to allow both, so let's uncheck that one. We like to loop the selection, so if it goes to the last one it will return to the first one. We are going to the selection timeout give 0.5 seconds. Then we want to use axis, and the axis is going to be the one that we created, target selection. As well for the vertical input, select the same key, target selection, and that will be it for the directional settings. So save the settings and let's continue. Okay, so let's close the editor, ORK editor, and let's give it a try. So if we were to try to test this selection now, we are getting the selection, but there is no feedback. So let me show you. So right now Lightning is targeting Chomper 1. I can execute the action on it. So if I click my dpad button, then she turns to the second enemy, and if I click again the dpad, it goes back to Chomper 1. You can see here in the log it's been printed. So let's work around this by adding a nice selector on the head of each enemy, so that will help give us a feedback which enemy we are targeting besides the lining rotating towards the current target. Right, so let's click Ctrl P to stop play mode, and let's go back to the ORK editor. Alright, so let's open up ORK editor, and here we are already in the battle system target settings. So let's just scroll down, and we have this target cursor settings. So we just need to click on that one, use cursor, and from the asset I already imported a nice icon for that. And we want to put or instantiate this prefab in the header of the enemy, and for that we already have this game object container. If you don't remember, it is called, if we go to the prefabs enemies, jumper battle, and we open the prefab, is this battle text container. So copy that one to not make misspell errors, and we can leave everything as it is, local space, offset, and everything as 0, no problem. Save the settings. Remember to change the reference to resources, since our prefab is inside the resources folder. Save the settings, and let's give it a try. Okay, so let's click on Ctrl P to start the game, and let's find jumper. And here we go. So you can see we have there the cursor. If I click on the dpad, it will move to the next enemy. If I click again, it will loop, and lining is always facing the selected target. If I now rotate the camera, we should rotate using only these two selected targets. If I switch target, then the camera should rotate around these two selected targets. So if you find, well, you can play with this cursor for the time being. We are not going to use it in other videos. This mechanic of cursors is not presented in the game, but for the time being is just help us debug what is going on. Okay, so what we are going to cover in the next video is the ATB regeneration. So if we consume, you can see on the res schemata the player, she's consuming the ATB but is not regaining it. So we are going to cover that on the next video. Thank you for watching and supporting the channel. Bye bye.